fellow geeks, and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather and I'm glad you're here. Well, it's that time of the year, and here in the northern part of the world, we are going into winter, so our days are getting shorter and it's getting colder outside. And on the other side of things, if you live in the south like I do, when you're in the summertime, the heat index gets up into the triple digits. So when it's really hot or it's really cold and dark, it's not always the greatest idea to get to run outside. So what do? Only run in the spring and the fall when you have plenty of light and when the weather agrees with you? Well, you could do that, but you'd lose a lot of training after a few months. Or you could opt for a treadmill. If you have access to a treadmill, you don't have to worry about the weather disagreeing with you. You don't have to worry about the time of day when you work out. And it's especially useful right now when a lot of gyms are closing, that you can still have an option to work out if you need to. Keep in mind that working out on a treadmill is not exactly the same as running outside, but at least it's an option to keep your legs moving. Plus, there are plenty of YouTube channels that have great treadmill workouts for you. There are lots of apps that have treadmill workouts for you. Or you can just zone out and watch TV as you run, or catch up on YouTube videos. There are even several YouTube channels that have virtual scenery that you can look at so that you can feel like you're running in another location. So if you've decided that you want to take the plunge into getting a treadmill, what's your first step? Well, getting a treadmill to begin with. Granted, if you want a treadmill with all the bells and whistles, they can be fairly pricey, and I do mean fairly pricey. However, not all models are going to break the bank. For example, the Horizon Fitness T101 model costs around $650. There are also several other companies that have models that are around $400 to $500. So if you're not ready to make a huge investment in a treadmill that's all tricked out, this will give you a place to start. I also know quite a few people that have checked Craigslist and gotten someone's used treadmill before. Keep in mind that if you choose to go that route, take precautions, make sure that you are traveling with someone else to go pick it up, and make sure that you are meeting in a safe place, and with COVID going on, make sure that you mask up. However, if you go through Craigslist or perhaps a garage sale or something like that, then you can get a fairly cheap treadmill that still works, and you can make that decision later to upgrade if you find that the treadmill is in fact working for you. Once you have your treadmill, then how do you use it? Well, you'll first have to experiment with the running speed that you want to use. Obviously, if you're doing a speed workout, you're going to go for those higher speeds, but if you're just going for a nice, comfortable run, then make sure that you are going at an appropriate pace. If you find yourself having to hold on to the handlebars, you may be going a bit too fast. Just take the speed down a bit and get to where it's comfortable again. As you're running, you don't want to run at the front or at the back of the belt, but try to keep it more towards the middle. You can also experiment with the incline options in order to simulate hills. If you're training for a particular race that you know happens to have a lot of hills, this can be particularly useful if you can't get outdoors to do the hills on your own. Make sure that you're mixing up the type of exercises that you do. You don't always have to run at the same length and the same pace every time. You can do slow, steady uphill jogs that will help you increase endurance and your strength, and you can do flat, fast runs that will help increase your speed. And finally, when you're looking at the readout screen, you can't always go by the numbers that you see there. A lot of treadmills are rather hard to calibrate specifically for you. And when you're looking at the numbers of calories burned, it's not taking into account the percentage of body fat that you have, your age, your gender. It doesn't know any of that. So it just gives you a general idea of how many calories or carbs or what have you that you've burned. Also, if you're going for a specific distance, you may want to make sure that you're using an additional tracker either on your phone or on a watch. I know a lot of treadmills that I've been on before will say that I have only gone 3/4 of a mile when I've actually gone a full mile. So make sure that you are double checking on that if it's a specific length that you're trying to get to. So there are just some basics about using a treadmill. If you've never used one before, give it a try. It's a great alternative to running outdoors. And again, it's not exactly the same, but it is a good way to keep getting a run in if you can't make it outdoors because of the weather or other circumstances. If you found this video helpful, make sure that you let me know by dropping a comment down below or by giving me a big thumbs up. If you use a treadmill, what's your favorite kind of treadmill workout? Make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below so that you don't miss any of the regular running content that I have coming out on this channel. And you can also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description, and you can find me across most platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and I can't wait to see you next time. Happy running!